Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are starting our webinar for those who would like to apply for Challenge and Innovation Forum in Qatar. My name is Andrei Gorov, and I will be moderator for today's webinar. Just brief introduction. I'm representing Qatari-Russian Center for Cooperation, which was founded by the Embassy of the State of Qatar to the Russian Federation to develop relations between Russia and Qatar in different fields, in business, in economics, innovation, education, and science. Now we have very pleasant times for developing our relations, because just 2 months ago there was St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, where Qatar was the guest country, and more than 400 people came to St. Petersburg from different companies and organizations. More than 50 Qatari organizations participated, and now they signed about 65 MOUs, among them about 6 between innovation companies and innovation clusters. And now it's a pleasant time just to continue this cooperation and to deepen it, bring in more Russian investors and Russian innovators to Qatar. And the topic of today's webinar is Challenge and Innovation Forum, which will be held in Doha in November, and it's organized by Qatar Scientific Club. Today, I would like to introduce our speakers and participants. Mr. Rashid Al-Rahimi, Managing Director of Qatar Scientific Club. Ms. Nur Murad, Head of Communications for Challenge and Innovation Forum. And from Russian side, Mr. Kirill Kayem, Senior Vice President of Skolkovo Innovation Center. The consequence of the webinar is the following. First, I would like to give the words to our speakers just to introduce your organizations. And after that, we will have a discussion on the topics about different aspects of applications for the forum and for the challenge. We already collected some questions, and first of all, I will just ask this question. After this, all the participants will have opportunity to add their questions. So first, I would like to ask Mr. Rashid Al-Rahimi, Managing Director of Qatar Scientific Club, just to give more details about the club and give the brief introduction. Mr. Rashid, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon for everybody. I am glad to be with you today, actually, for this meeting, to introduce the collaboration with Russia. You are most welcome, and please be aware that I am Engineer Rashid Al-Rahimi. I am CEO for the Qatar Scientific Club, and for this year, actually, we have lots of program. One of our main program is the Innovation and Challenge Forum. Our Qatar Scientific Club, we have more than 1 programs with other authorities, with other organizations. So for this year, especially this event, we are organizing with international organization and also local organization here in Qatar. We are collaborating with the Qatar University, Qatar Foundation, and also other authority with ministers also. For outside the Qatar international organizations, of course, you are one of the main organizer with us, and also we have WIPO, we have APIA, also Geneva, and also from Kuwait they have also Milset for Asia. So just to put everybody with us in this forum, and will be inshallah success for everybody, especially for the inventors. Our Qatar Scientific Club, we have different programs there, and especially programs for the innovators. So, inside the Qatar Scientific Club, we have 2 different, let's say, main program. One for the ages below 15 years. So we give them based on the STEM program, and the other one above 15 years for the inventors. We have a special classes for them, special workshops for them. So we provide the equipment, the technical support, consultant services, To this year, after 1 month, inshallah, we will open also our maker space, big, huge space for the makers and for the inventors. So from there, whoever have some ideas, they can come to us and share this idea with us. Then we will help them to make their first prototype. After their prototype, of course, that we will collaborate more with the other organizations, with the companies, in order to make this as a product, and we will be in the future. Our main sections there in Qatar Startup Club, we have different fields. We have electronics, we have robotics, we have also fabrications, we have mechanical, we have programming. So all of these fields, it's like a technical field, but this is what the inventors really look at. And also at the same time, we are providing other services like legal services, also financial services. So all of these services, we can give all to the inventors in order to let them success in their project.
Thank you, Mr. Rashid. And now we're switching to Ms. Noor Murad, who is the head of communication for Challenge and Innovation Forum, just to give more details about the forum itself.
Yes, I hope my voice is here to start. I would like to thank you, Mr. Andre. I would like to thank all the speakers here and even Russian inventors for attending this webinar. We are very much interested with the Russian inventors, especially your annual invention ceremonies that you do, like the one for Skolkava Startup Village and the Open Inventions for Skolkava Innovation Center. We saw very interesting inventions there, and we definitely would like to see those inventions here with us in Qatar. So to start with, let me actually share the PowerPoint that I have, that I prepared for this webinar. I hope that you see everything. Is it clear? Great. So what is CIF? CIF is basically Challenge and Innovation Forum that will take place between 7th and 11th November in Qatar. What we exactly aim, let me remove this. So the Ministry of Culture and Sports, in cooperation with Qatar Scientific Club, have announced this great event for all inventors and innovators from all over the world to come and meet in Qatar. So it will have, as Mr. Rashid mentioned, it's going to include many great organizations that will be there, like WIPO, IFIA, and Geneva Inventions. So just to let you know, why is CIF occurring? Because we actually aim to publish science more and more. We aim to highlight the role of science and innovation in achieving a knowledge-based economy. We as well aim to direct the international community to learn about developments in the field of innovation and modern technologies. And we aim to attract all those young talents and stimulate youth activity in innovation field. So regarding the timeline, the registration has opened on 7th July and it will close on 31st August 2021. The announcing the final list of participants is going to be on 15th September. On 7th November will be the opening ceremony, and in 11th it will be the closing and announcing the winners. So what would participants get? First of all, those who win, after they participate and eventually they win the challenge, they're gonna win financial prizes that worth $250 USD. They'll get the chance to travel to Qatar. Their accommodation, their travel tickets are going to be totally covered. They will get the chance to meet inventors from all over the world to meet and compete. It's going to be a great environment environment for them, and we assure them that it's going to be a great experience. They will get the chance to live one exceptional week experience in Qatar and in this creative environment. So as we previously mentioned, that registration is open from 7th July to 31st of August. How do we register? First of all, you need to create an account. You need to click on this link, our website, Challenge and Innovation Forum Qatar, CIF, and then you need to activate your account through the email that you will be receiving in your inbox. If you did not find it in the inbox, you can check your spam or junk folders. The final step is you need to fill in your application. What are the conditions or the terms to join the competition? First of all, the person needs to be, or the inventor needs to be over 18 years old. He needs to have a granted patent or a deposit number of a patent or its equivalent. And a physical prototype of the project must be available to be shipped to Qatar for the jury to view. The event is going to include various events. Two of them are the main events, like the inventions exhibition. It's individual, where inventors will be showcasing their invention individually in an exhibition style. And then we are, after the first part, which is the individual inventions exhibition, which will last for 2 days, we are going to have the hackathon. The hackathon is very interesting, where will we be grouping all those inventors in groups, of course, from different majors, and they will be competing for constant 48 hours to come with a project from an idea to prototype. So here I have a video about the individual competition. I will leave it for, I will leave it for the QRCC to put the video, but I will continue my presentation first. So the prizes for the first part, which is, as we said, it's going to last for 2 days, the individual competition or the invention exhibitions. Those are the prizes for the first place, second place, third place, fourth place, and fifth place, as you can see. This is the video for the hackathon. I will leave it after I finish my presentation. The prizes for the hackathon are, as you can see in the screen, the first, the second, and the third prize. Of course, we will select a few projects that we can fund at the end of the competition with the 25,000 USD dollars. So that's it. That's for my presentation. We are really excited to have, as I mentioned, the Russian inventors here and to see their creativity in Qatar. We can assure them that this is going to be a very, very interesting experience where they will be joining. It's totally free. Their accommodation is covered, and they're going to eventually win prizes. So we're looking forward to this. Thank you so much.
So we'll continue, and already mentioned about major innovation cluster in Russia. It's Skolkovo Innovation Center, and I would like to give the word to introduce it to our Qatari partners, Mr. Kirill Kayem, Senior Vice President for Innovation at Skolkovo Innovation Center.
Thank you very much for the invitation for such an interesting event. And I believe that Skolkovo Foundation, being the biggest hub for innovative company in Russian Federation, is a very good source and very good channel to communicate such an interesting challenge. If you don't mind, I'd just like to share my screen. I hope now it's on. Can you see it? Okay. I just briefly would mention what Skolkovo is and why do we think that the partnership with Skolkovo is the most right way to find the gate to the innovation company in Russian Federation and the most effective way to communicate with Russian innovators. And actually, we are talking about right now the more than 3,000 startups under the roof of Skolkovo Foundation. that is spread all over Russian Federation, and we are covering the most of challenging and interesting technological direction with our startups. We are acting as the governmental agency, in fact, and we see ourselves as a service company which provides to the startups and to the innovators from both small and medium enterprises and even R&D centers of big enterprises, the pool of the services which can be useful and can help them to move faster direction to the new tech, not only to be developed as the new approach, but as well to be implemented in real economy. As you can see, we have like 4 main pillars we are working with. That's startups, and that's more than 50,000 people, most researchers working in those startups. Those independent companies, they are free agents to act on the market, and our role is just to identify the most interesting scientific ideas, to check if those ideas can be implemented as real technologies, and as well to prove these technologies can have some market values. The second part is investors, because we do support our startups financially, but actually we are not making any exceptions. And if we are providing some grant financing to the startups, at the same time, we always require private co-investor. We have a bunch of industrial companies. Actually, we are interacting with more than 500 big industrial companies each year, but 100 of those companies are already agreed to have R&D centers in Skolkovo boundaries, and we are providing so-called corporate acceleration programs. So that means we are checking what are the technology needs of the big corporations. We do support them with the development of technological strategies for corporate technological strategies. And as well, we scout the technologies, not only within Skolkovo portfolio, but as well outside of Skolkovo and even outside of Russian Federation for those corporate partners. We have our sister university, Skoltech, that's among 50 best young universities of the world right now. And it started as a copy-paste MIT project, but right now they have a big international cooperations with different institutions all over the world. And the competition to be Skoltech students is about 80 applicants for one student seat. So it's highly competitive and highly interesting place to be. We are building innovation city, and as I mentioned, we're covering most of the technological directions and foresights for the moment. I mentioned that we have a bunch of different services for our startups, and we have special taxation and special customs mode for our startups. We are providing grant financing, and not only provided by Skolkovo Foundation per se, but as well we are providing support to get different grants and different financing, non-dilutive financing from other Russian institutions for Skolkovo startups. We as well in the very tight connections with private money, both starting from business angels, and we have special support program for the business angels, financial support program for the business angels. And we are working with the most of Russian venture funds in order to bring more money for the startups in our ecosystem. As well, we have services, different business services like lawyers, bookkeepers. We have intellectual property protection service, which one of the best in the country for the moment. And we are closely working with WIPO, which is one of the co-organizers of the coming event. And what's very important, we also provide some infrastructure, which Mr. Al-Rahimi mentioned, going to be as well in Qatar. And for the moment, we are operating with more than 150,000 square meters of technoparks on the territory of Skolkovo. And as well, we have the network of different partners technoparks all over Russia. So right now, that's more than 16 technoparks, 16, included in our network in Russia. So I already mentioned Skoltech. That's not only an interesting place to be, but it's one of the most beautiful campuses among the new universities. And for the moment, they have so-called centers for research, education, and innovation. which actually define the foresight, define the technological development they're going to bring on the table. And as well, they're working not only by the curiosity, they're making a lot of scientific work for the big international and Russian industrial partners. There are a few examples of Skolkovo startups. So those are just 5 among 3,000 startups. And maybe I would just mention like companies like Vision Labs was invested by big banking industrial group in Russian Federation, and they that's face recognition algorithms, and they're the winners of multiple international competitions in this area. Maybe I would mention Hepatera, which is the first medical drug for therapy of chronic viral hepatitis D, which was uncurable before they developed their own drug. And right now this drug is already registered, not only in Russian Federation, but in Europe, and registration by FDA is coming next few months. Another very good example is S Innovation. That's high temperature superconductors. Actually, it's our future, in fact. And they already have some applications in power generation facilities, but the next step is going to use these high temperature superconductors in the electrical engines and generators, which gives us completely different source of powers and completely different driving engines. So it's just shortly about Skolkovo. So we have a big innovation city, which is more than 735 hectares territory, with more than 1 million square meters already built, and another 1 million square meters of different premises for the startups coming. At the end of my presentation, I'd like to say that to be entrepreneur is a very challenging and difficult thing. To be a technological entrepreneur, it's actually fourfold difficulties. But at the same time, I would say that's the most creative and the most rewarding job you can do in entrepreneurships, because you always bring on board interesting people, interesting scientists, and interesting marketing ideas, and putting in the pot all those components, shaking this, growing this, at the end of the day would bring you to the success which would never can achieve making just a small business per se. So, and I believe those such competition, such challenges as coming this year in Qatar, it's not only to show up what you can do, but as well to build the connections and with another startups, and to build the possibility to find new markets and to find new industrial partners during the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirill. I just would like to mention that in recent St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, Skolkovo already has signed MOUs with Qatar Financial Center, Qatar Development Bank, Qatar Science and Technology Park. So Skolkovo is becoming an innovation window to Qatar. And I hope that some companies will apply innovation forum as well.
Andrei, and vice versa, Skolkovo becoming the window for Qatar startups to come to Russia. So it works both ways.
Yeah, sure. Sure. And now we're switching to the details of the competition. We already received some questions before the webinar. I would like to start with them and hope Ms. Nur and Mr. Rashid will help with these answers. And after that, we will switch to the questions that we see now in our chat. So there are many licensing platforms and many opportunities for innovators in Qatar now. But speaking about Challenge Innovation Forum and the competition, could you please tell us what technologies are most welcome in which sectors and areas? And what are the criteria for selecting the companies?
Actually, all the categories are most welcome, especially this is first year for Qatar to make this kind of forum. So we'd like everybody to participate. Since they have a prototype, physical prototype, they are most welcome. Actually, also our team think that like a recommendation only, but will not be like some added, let's say, mark on it. We are focusing on the environmental things and medical and tech support. since you know Qatar will hold next year the World Cup, so we are looking at this kind of inventions, but there will be no mark exactly like higher mark or something for this. It is open for everybody. We would like anybody from this one, any inventors, they are most welcome to attend.
Thank you. And which criteria will be most important for you when you are selecting the applicants?
Ms. Noor already mentioned about like general criteria, but for the judgment, they are looking at the patent or registered patent or any certificate from the country shows that this inventions is for this person. Just a certificate or let's say some letters at least show that it is belonging to him. This is important. This is first. Second, physical prototype to be here, to be participated in Qatar also with physical prototype. This is two main things. Other, I think it's only like normal criteria, which anybody can provide.
Thank you. And the next question, what is required for the application to submit a presentation or a list of documents, as you mentioned, for example, patents, certificates, and so on?
Yeah, plus this one, of course, we need the details about his invention. This will help us also for the later to write this inventions and to be also background for his booth also. But why we need also for the judgment, they need to look at in which category to categorize them from beginning, in which category. This will help us. So we need a brief about his inventions, and also plus this one, we need also, as I mentioned, that the physical prototype and a proof of patent or deposit number of the patent, and that's it. This is the main things as a document. We are not looking at the let's say details document or something. If he will provide the brief about his inventions, and also we are looking at the website. They will see there's a link. They can upload the videos, or maybe through the YouTube they can put the link, or maybe download it. Will be more clearer once the judges choose them and accept them to participate here.
Thank you. And is it possible to submit several applications from one team or one person?
Several applications, yes, but he at the end he will accept it for only one invention. And once we see he have more than one inventions, we will select the best one for him and we'll let him participate with this one. Of course, there will be also contact with him during if we let's say we accept 3, of course we will contact him if we see some of these inventions is better to participate with, but maybe they also know to participate with other one. We will interact with them, and then we will choose the best one for him to participate. But he also can, if they are working as a team, as a group, for example, only one of them, they have to select one of them to participate here.
Oh, okay. It was my next question about how many people can come from one team.
Actually, we will provide one ticket and all accommodation for this one person. But if they want to come, and they will cover their cost, up to them. But we will cover for one, so he will be, let's say, the focal point for this invention.
Okay, thank you. So other team members just can come on their own expense.
Yes.
And regarding the hackathon, should the inventors bring any materials with them, or they will be provided on place?
There is no restrictions in this. If they would like to bring, up to them. But I would like to confirm that Qatar Scientific Club is providing all the materials, all the equipments, all the facilities is there, workshops there. Also the technical support team will be there for all the fields, mechanical, robotic, programming, fabrications. All of these members also will be there to help the inventors to build up their idea and make it as a prototype. So we have more than one hackathon before. The inventors, they didn't bring anything, and all of the groups, they success to make their prototype. because we are specialists in this field, so we know that, let's say, the main equipment and main materials that they need. But again, no problem. If somebody he see that maybe this motor or this sensors is more applicable or much better, no problem with this.
Great, thank you. Continuing with hackathon, one of the goals mentioned on the website is to teach the youth on how to develop and invent new ideas from concept all the way to physical prototype. So could you please give more details about this? Is there any also educational part here?
Just to make clear about the question, they are asking how they will, what is the steps or phases that from the start point to the end point?
Yes, because the goal is to teach the youth to go the idea from the concept to prototype. So,
okay. No, internationally, the inventor, they all face a problem. Not even during their during what in the let's say when they plan to make their prototype, there will be some let's say some guidance and some technical support they will provide. But the important here, the concept itself. After they finish their prototype, they have physical prototype, but how they will make it a product to be in the market, let's say successful product that the customer will accept it in the market and they will buy it from them later. So during the hackathon, they will take some courses during the hackathon. Let's say every 6 hours, after they finish some phases, they will take a workshop about 30 minutes or 1 hour, let's say about the startup companies, for example, about what is the important for the prototype to be, let's say, in the market, for example, maybe the casing of the prototype itself. So they will take many courses during the hackathon 2 days, not less than 4 courses. Minimum short courses directly will guide them to help them to finish their prototype. At the end day, after the 48 hours, they will go and relax. Next day, on the announcement day, who's winning, they will have their prototype, their product, let's say, in the booth with a group people who's with him. At the same time, he will explain it to the companies. Will bring company, and these companies, they will, let's say, decide which of them is the best product, which of them is the, let's say, only the, let's say, the design is okay. Some of them, they finish within short time, for example. There will be criteria for selections. One of the criteria will leave it for the companies. They will choose which of them is the best one fit the market.
Thank you, Mr. Rashid. Yeah. Ms. Noor, would you like to add something, or we continue?
Actually, I would like to add that what we exactly mean by this point is that not inventors will be teaching other people, but we will be bringing the experts, and we will be giving them the needed information, knowledge to finalize this project from idea to prototype. We will be dividing let's say if we accepted 80 projects, we will be dividing those inventors to a group, let's say, for example, of 5 or 10, and they will be coming from different backgrounds, some from business, some from electronics, some from design, etc. So at this point, I just wanted to build it on Mr. Rashid, is that they will be taking those courses from those experts that will enable them to finish this prototype in a very short time, 48 hours. So we will provide them with the needed support.
Thank you, Ms. Noor. Next question about the participants of the forum. Which Qatari entities, companies will participate? Are you expecting any investors for the forum to see the project and maybe to make some cooperation with the companies or the participants?
Yeah, here actually there is 2 points. One of the investors is the Qatar Scientific Club, because at the end for the hackathon, let's say there's 6 physical prototype. So we already announced it in our website that we will give fund for this. Anyone will success, he will take the cash prices, yes, for himself and or let's say for his group. But plus this one, if we see one of the prototype is the one can be a product in the market, we will fund this one to make it like with more pieces, let's say maybe 100, we will fund up to 100 pieces or 50 pieces, depend on the cost, but we will provide this support also as Qatar Scientific Club. For the inventors, for the let's say individual inventors, of course, yes, some companies are from Qatar, they are known, and we are cooperating with the Qatar Development Bank also, with Qatar University, with Qatar Foundation. Also, they will bring also some of the companies, and they will look at these inventors. If they see their inventions, they are one can fit the market, or let's say they can fund it a little bit more to be in the market later stage. Yes, we are targeting these companies also.
And the next question about the using of the money of the prize. Are there any obligations to invest only for scaling of the business, to developing prototype, how they can use the prize?
Okay. This is first year we are making Qatar, and our government, they want to welcome all the inventors. Therefore, when they put the cash prices, they didn't limit it to any criteria, any, let's say, objection or any rule. If their individual inventions, let's say they took higher mark, more than 90, let's say, yes, they will win the cash prices, and there is no restrictions in this, how they will, let's say, use it or whatever. They will take it for them. For the hackathon, of course, it will be divided in the group. The cash price we put in the website, for example, let's say 100,000, it will be divided based on the group number. It will be divided, but also there is no restrictions here. The only restrictions for the prototype that we will selected that we can invest on it more later stage. If we select this prototype, we will sign agreement between us and this group, the one wins, and we will fund based on our criteria. So yes, we will pay some amount later, but we'll not give them this this money at the beginning once they won. He already won and take his cash prices, but the prototype will fund it later, because we will pay to the companies, we will pay to the designers and other costs.
Thank you. Also important question due to COVID-19 situation about vaccination. For example, winners who are coming from Russia, could they just be vaccinated by Russian Sputnik, or what are the conditions to enter Doha if they win?
Yeah, we already put some of the reference in our website. And I would like also, we'll share after this one now, if you can share with them also the website for our health ministry. It will be all restrictions there, if there is any restriction for Russia. But I think whatever vaccine you give in Russia and whatever given in Europe countries or America or these countries, it's all known. This is what approved by Qatar. And if they took the vaccines, they will have no problem to enter to Qatar. And also, yeah, and also will be one of our member will be there in the airport and will guide them also once they reach here in Qatar.
Great, thank you. And I hope by November the situation will be better both in Russia and Qatar. Yeah. Now I'd like to switch to the questions we had in the chat. And one of the major questions that was also asked in Russian, I will translate, about bringing prototypes to Qatar, about custom restrictions. For example, there could be some sensitive prototypes, biomedical or something like that. What are the conditions to bring through Qatari customs? And if it's big enough, how can you support to bring it?
Okay. And during this forum, we are cooperating with all ministries, and it is government form. It's not like from Qatar Scientific Club we are making this event. It is by government actually, and we are part of the government. Qatar Scientific Club is part of the government. So there is cooperation between us and the custom in order to help and support all the inventors to come and make easy for them to enter here in Qatar. But I would like to also mention that, you know, all countries, they have their own restrictions sometimes, some sensitive part. So they will enter to the normal checkup, and we will help. You know, they will check, and I think all the inventors can success and enter. We will provide the support. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now, you also can look through the questions we have in our chat. I think that some questions already answered, and there is one, just to precise, can we apply without a patent but with a prototype? You said that they need at least a certificate for this prototype. Am I right?
Yeah, at least certificate from any organization, let's say from university, his university, for example, maybe he finished his prototype, let's say within the university, and he have some certificate that just to show that this is belong to this person.
Yeah, thank you. And also the question about participating in the forum. I am not a member of Skolkovo. It doesn't matter. Everybody can apply, not only Skolkovo startups. And
it's not a problem, but you always can become a Skolkovo startup.
Yes,
just have a good tech idea.
Yes, it's
I
also
would
advice.
like to, if you allow me, I would like to add something also regarding patent. You know, the criteria for selection for the winners, if they have patent, let's say we divide the marks based 10%, for example, for the patent. If anybody have patent, so if we have patent, international patent, he will get the 10 full mark. If he bring certificate only, maybe he will get 8 or let's say 5. Okay, so the best to bring patent, because this is internationally known that if somebody has patent, this is related to him. If he brings certificate from organizations, this means he didn't enter to the registration of the patent. So of course, some mark will be detected from him. So I encourage all the inventors, still there is time to register their patent. And even now, if he provide the certificate just to accept, but at later stage during November, I encourage them to at least register their inventions and make it patent, even at least register patent. So they will get more mark during the selection from the judges.
Thank you. I see a few questions regarding the bringing again prototypes for customs and how to bring, but you already answered that it will be considered and supported by
Yes.
different measures. So I skip this question. So I guess this question already done. About vaccination, also please see the link that provided by Mr. Rashid and Qatar-Russia. There are answers on different kinds of this question. Also the question about Russian language. Is it possible to defend the project in Russian? But I guess it's English language is the core for the competition.
Yeah. Actually, here the main language is Arabic and English, but we will bring some of the translators there, and we know some Qataris also they speak English, they speak Russian, so they will be also with us there to help them. If they cannot explain for the judge, for example, in English perfectly, yes, they can continue with their languages, and we will provide translator to them. But please, once he reach there in Qatar, he has to point out this to us so we can bring the full support to him.
Absolutely. I would like to add that the application needs to be in Arabic or English, but it's different, of course. When they come here, we're going to have our own translators.
Yeah, this is good news as well. Also, I see the question again about the usage of the price, but it's already answered. So I guess that for now, majority of the questions are covered. But still, you can just ask the question to Qatar Scientific Lab or Qatari-Russian Center for Cooperation. We have more than 1 week for applications of the project. So if you have any questions, please ask. my last, for now, question to Mr. Rashid and Ms. Noor, what general recommendation you can give to Russian inventors and innovators for application to the forum?
As inventor before, I know that I have sometimes a prototype, yes, but since there is still, this is good guidance for them, since there is still, let's say, 2 to 3 months to participate here. Now they have, what they have to do now, they have to select the best, let's say, inventions they have, or if somebody have one invention only, he have to give us a good and a brief about his invention, let's say in the video, to let us accept it. And later, during these 2 months, 3 months, he can also improve his invention. So once he become here, he can be judged and win. So still there is time, even let's say we didn't select him or accept him, but maybe we will put him as, let's say, because there is also waiting list, maybe somebody from the selected one, he, let's say at the last time, before 2 weeks or 3 weeks, he said, I have some problem, so I cannot attend. We will select the one also in the waiting list. So please, they have to be patient always, and we will contact them. Since we have their email and contact number, we will be in touch with them always and provide all the information to them.
Yes, I would like to as well mention that we advise them to build their application very well and carefully. You need to build your case, and you need to convince the jury with your invention. So please answer all the questions carefully and take your time. Do not leave anything behind. Mention all the details that you have about your invention. Don't miss anything. So this is for the best, because it's either you convince them or not. So we want you to convince them. We want to see you here in Qatar.
Andre, if I may.
Yeah, for sure.
I would like to underline that participating in such type of challenges and such type of events actually make your product and your project and your startup better. Even if you are just applying and you do not get through to Qatar, to the offline event, that already gives you the opportunity actually to put everything on the paper, to structure your product, to move ahead, to find the weak spots in your projects, and to add this later on, to participate next year and next competition and next challenge. That's number one. Number two, if you are in, it's a perfect tool to communicate and to see your rivals, your competitors, and other entrepreneurs who are doing in this high-tech segment. And the last one, maybe I mentioned this, but please be careful with your IP. To apply and to protect your IP is deal number one for any high-tech startup. If you are showing something, you are risking the core value. And what happened next, definitely, if your idea is brilliant, and I believe the most of your ideas are brilliant, and you do not protect it, you would lose it. So it's not about to register IP specifically for this challenge. I think that's your number one duty if you want to be a successful entrepreneur in high-tech area. Thank you.
Thank you very much for clarifying this one, really. And therefore, we put more mark for the one have patent, because he go through the right direction and he registered. So therefore, and he will be, let's say, maybe he will be the winner because if you have the patent. By the way, everybody can participate with the physical prototype. Everybody can explain clearly about his prototype. So the good points, you will take it. Maybe you will be competitive with all other with the same grade. But I think, based on my experience, when I attend other international competitions, the one took the prizes is the one have patent and international patent sometimes from different countries also. But at least minimum to have patent on this. And do not let other take your idea and run away. You know, we are international competitions. It's easy, really easy for them to take it and go away. Just register and cover it.
And another question came that someone already submitted the application, but after our webinar, the person is asking if he could amend or replace the application, maybe to make some changes in it.
Yes, I think this person can connect with us. We will do the needed arrangements for this through the email.
Thank you. So to recap our webinar, we have 1 week before August 31st to make application. If there are any questions, you can ask the email mentioned in our chat, and the result will be announced in mid of September. And so just we're waiting a bunch of applications from Russia and hope to see many Russian startup companies and inventors in Doha. I would like to ask Mr. Kirill, Mr. Rashid, Mr. Noor, if you have any finalizing comments of our webinar.
Yeah. Just one news I received today, because we received from many international inventors. They ask for extension of the time. So we are studying this, and within, let's say, 2 or 3 days, if accepted, we will extend it 2 more weeks. But till now, the official one is the 31st of August.
My side, maybe the world is not one country right now. The world is really global. And if you are doing something in deep tech or high tech, you cannot actually think about only one market. And such type of events and Arabic countries world is huge. And guys, that's a rich market. Actually, are trying to apply to this market. You can really build success for the next global development. And my wishes to you, good luck. So the strongest would win, but I believe everybody who is there, who apply, would also get some benefits from the process.
Yes, on my part, I would like to encourage all the inventors and the startups to actually take the chance and apply, because in all cases, you are winning something, even if you will see if you get accepted or not, but even if not, you will be invited next year and the year after and so on. So just take the chance and go ahead. We are waiting you.
And I am sure there is very good and excellent of the inventions will come from Russia.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are sure. Thank you very much for all participants who watched the webinar, and to our speakers, to Mr. Kirill, to Ms. Rashid and Ms. Noor, and hope to see you soon in Doha and in Moscow as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrei.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.